Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is a new video series. Thank you for tuning in. This video series, as you can see, is called Wisdom and Weakness. And I want it to be every week where we read the book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. At the end, we're gonna do Job. At the end, we're gonna do Job and just break down the scriptures of wisdom week by week. And also, wisdom and weakness. The weakness part is to share where we are weak. So of course, I'm going to share where I'm weak because I struggle, I bleed just as you do. And I want to definitely share that with y'all like, oh, this is a time where I didn't use wisdom. And here's where I feel like I could be using wisdom better. Because the purpose of these proverbs, the purpose of wisdom is to be used in real, actual life. Not living in the Bible as to live there, but living with the Bible as to live in the world and not be of it. Amen. And that's why I wanted to start this video series. Thank you all for tuning in. And we're gonna start off with the first book, Proverbs, right? Gonna jump right into it. And this is on Proverbs, the NLT version on the Bible. And we're just gonna try our best to explain how we can use these actual proverbs in real life, as I said. Not moving in foolishness, not moving in wickedness, but in wisdom and in righteousness with good judgment, as the scriptures say, y'all. So let's get right into it. Proverbs 1, NLT. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, David's son, king of Israel. Their purpose is to teach wisdom and discipline, to help them understand the insights of the wise. Their purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives, to help them do what is right, just, and fair. These proverbs will give insight to the simple, knowledge and discernment to the young. Let the wise listen to these proverbs and become even wiser. Let those with understanding receive guidance by exploring the meaning. By exploring the meaning in these proverbs and parables, the words of the wise and their riddles. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Okay, y'all. Pause break to explain some key verses I found. We stopped at verse 7. So a key verse I definitely want to use more in my day-to-day life is exploring the meaning of proverbs, parables, and the words of the wise and their riddles like that. Because I catch a lot of game. Adults are always trying to give me game. I stay in my Bible. That's a lot of game. But I feel like, I know. I go into these words and I know they're good. I know they're beneficial. But I don't really deep dive and sit with the words a lot of the time. A lot of what I do is I look at these words and be like, oh, that's a banger. Write it down. But then in my heart, I move on to what the next word says. Moving on to what this says. Feeling like I'm out of time, constantly rushing myself. But the wise thing to do is to stay still, focusing on these words, and then apply these words. Because the word that is not applied is not a live word. Knowledge is only power if it's applied. Otherwise, you just have bland words that mean something good, right? But that's with me, though. And then another key verse I found is verse 7. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. What is the foundation of knowledge? It says it right here, the fear of the Lord. And I always looked at the fear of the Lord as I'm fearing to lose God's presence. I'm fearing to lose God's face. I'm fearing for him to hide from me. I do have to do more research on that. But that's truly what I mean by fearing the Lord. Not being so scared of the Lord like, he's going to kill me just because. No. But fearing to do wrong. Fearing that his presence will leave you. Learning that fools despise wisdom and discipline. You ever correct somebody or tell somebody something that's wise and they sit here like, nah, bro. Like, and they just look at you kind of crazy? That's them despising the wisdom and discipline out of your mouth. We can't despise the wisdom and discipline out of the mouth of the Most High. We have to sit there and in stillness listen to the word. And that goes right back into what we were just talking about. So let us become even wiser and move on, starting at verse 8. My child, listen when your father corrects you. Don't neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck. My child, if sinners entice you, turn your back on them. They may say, come, join us. Let's hide and kill somebody. Just for fun. Let's ambush the innocent. Let's swallow them alive like the grave. Let's swallow them whole like those who go down to the pit of death. Think of the great things we'll get. We'll fill our houses with all the stuff we take. Come, throw in your lot with us. Let's share the loot. My child, don't go along with them. Stay far away from their past. They rush to commit evil deeds. They hurry to commit murder. If a bird sees a trap being set, it knows to stay away. But these people set an ambush for themselves. They are trying to get themselves killed. Such is the fate of all who are greedy for money. It robs them of life. So, I got a lot of key verses out of this one right here, out of this section. It was verse 8 through verse 12. And feel free to highlight, comment down below what key verses you're learning and how you are applying them to your life. Remember, this is very communal, y'all. I would like y'all to comment, share, and it's wisdom and weakness. So we gaining wisdom and we expressing our weaknesses just to get more wisdom, y'all, to get more community. And a key verse I found is all of the ones where it's like the sinners, right? 15 through 19 are legit like enticing somebody. They're enticing you to kill someone. Also verse 10, like really this whole thing, this whole section is the key of what I wanted to get into with myself and with y'all about how these people are trying to entice you to sin. Entice you, hey, let's kill somebody. Hey, let's smoke this weed. That's how you can apply it to your life. You smoke or something like that and you know you're convicted by it. You know that and you still going along with the people who are doing it. Or the people who are like, hey, let's all go rob somebody. Like, hey, let's go do this. Let's go this. It's just leading you to death. And it's telling you, do not go along with the people who are leading themselves into the grave, setting a trap for themselves. If you're hanging around with people who are setting a trap for themselves and following their ways and being enticed by them, you then set a trap for yourself because you might be good at heart and they might not be. But if I see you or your parents see you hanging around with them, they're going to be like, oh, what is my kid doing? What's going on right here? What's happening? And that's where you have to be like, oh, okay, I know wisdom and good judgment. What y'all are doing is not wise. I will not go with you. And that's really standing on that foundation of wisdom, which is fear of the Lord, because you fearing to do wrong and you're fearing to be within people. So stay away from those who entice you to do wrong is the biggest one. Because many times in our lives, we are enticed to follow the world and go with, hey, you do this, hey, do that. This is good right here. Get this one. Like following the world's ways, but we have to stay away from those people who are following the world's ways and leading us to death. But it's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. It could be like, hey, let's go kill somebody. Let's go rob somebody, especially if they're doing actual crime. What are you doing? But anyway, y'all, comment down below where this verse, like what this key aspect of this proverb is helping y'all, what wisdom y'all gain and how y'all applying it to your life. I need y'all to comment, bro. Comment so I can be praying, so y'all can be praying for me as well. All right. Oh, and also don't be greedy. That was a good one too. Verse 19, it says, such is the fate who are all for greed for money. It robs them of life. So if you out here robbing people, that greed is going to rob you of life. It's crazy how that sin of greed won't make you want to get, eventually takes all of what you thought you gained. But if you give your life to God, he gains you a new spirit, gains you a new mind, gains you a new outlook on these things. But all right, y'all. Starting from verse 20. Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in the public square. She calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate. How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools hate knowledge? Come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster engulfs you like a cyclone, and anguish and distress overwhelm you. When they cry for help, I will not answer. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me, for they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore, they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own complacency, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. All right, y'all. That was a lot, but we're going to get into it. There's a lot of key verses in this section. Section verses 20 through 33. That was a lot. That was a lot. But to kind of sum it up and then go over key verses real quick, it's talking about how wisdom calls out to us, right? It's calling out, being like, hey, come join me. I'll make you wise if you come join me. I'll give you a new heart that is wise. You just have to answer to me. You just have to ask for me, and I'll give this unto you, right? And it's saying, come listen to me. Yet, when we reject wisdom, right, and reject the wise counsel that the Lord offers, reject good decision making, reject good judgment, we have also no excuse. Like, no excuse anymore. Like, it's saying it'll mock us. It'll, you're searching for wisdom when you had the chance to be wise, and now you fell to calamity because you moved in an unwise decision, did something unrighteous, and made a horrible decision. You can't claim ignorance anymore because wisdom insisted you come to her, yet you chose not to. That's mainly what I got from these things, and segues directly into story time. So, story time on how I was weak in this very moment. It was, I say, a couple months ago, 2 months ago, I had a Jaguar, right? And it had a check engine light on for mad long. But it would turn on and it would turn off. It turned on for a week, off for 2. So I was like, okay, screw it, you know? And when I first got it, it was already kind of, beat up. What did I do when this check engine light lasted more than I expected to? Did I, A, take it to the shop? Did I, B, continue to drive it? Or C, do nothing? B and C are correct. I didn't take it to the shop, and I really did not care about it until it started to honestly make a bunch of noises. I didn't even get code scanned for a long time. And I'm driving to work one day, and all of a sudden, I have to, all I hear is, and I get this weird smell in my car. The engine is filling up with a horrible smell. So I then have to pull over. And as I pull over, like I'm talking, it's like, it sounds like it's about to blow up, it smells like it too. Pull over, I have to call roadside assistance, call my father, and tell them, like, hey, I should have went to the shop. I didn't go to the shop. My dad was like, you should probably take it to the shop. I didn't end up going to the shop because I just didn't care enough. I had work, I had this, I wanted to do that. But my priorities were not with my vehicle, and I ended up having to serve the consequences for it. I was late to work that day. And I didn't have a car for a minute. I had to find now a different way to work. It was harder to have fun, couldn't drive myself anywhere. And like wisdom kind of was telling me, I told you so. Like my father's instruction was to go, you should probably go to the shop. I told you so. And if I went to the shop earlier and there was no way the car could have been fixed, it wouldn't have been on me because it was already, you know what I mean? But instead, I chose to do something unwise. And it said it called, and look, in verse 24 of Proverbs 1, it says, I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. And then 25, you ignored my advice. Wisdom is legit telling you, come to her. She gives you, she'll make your heart wise. As it says in verse 23, come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. And that's where we can use wisdom in a situation where it's like, hold on, let me not ignore the advice of people who, you know, have good things to say. Let me not ignore my conviction, and let me ask God for a wiser heart. Let me pray for a wiser heart. You can do all these things, bro. You don't have to make the wise decision. You don't have to go around with the bad people. You don't have to. You don't have to. In the first half of the section we went through, kind of explained the foundation of what wisdom truly is, the fear of the Lord. The second one explained not to hang around with people who are foolish and do unwise things. And this third one tells us to listen to wisdom's instructions when it calls out, y'all. These are the three sections in Proverbs 1 that we just went over, showing where we could apply it to our life, showing where we could use it, and showing where we are weak men and women of God. Y'all, thank y'all for watching this video. There will be more wise lessons on the way. I'll tune in next week, and make sure you actually like and comment and subscribe, and please share with me where you are struggling. Share with me where you are being unwise. If you need prayer, type it in the comments, bruh. This is a community on YouTube, and I just thank you all. God bless y'all. And I pray wisdom finds us. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. Later, Khalid, out.